Hello guys, I'm Bandaru Jaswant from EC branch. From the first video, I hope you guys know what is meant by microcontroller and you got an idea about Arduino Uno board and it pins like digital and analog pins. And also you guys have completed an hands-on session on blinking of LED using Arduino board in Tinkercad, which is an online simulator and explained by Tanuj TVS. In this video, I'm going to explain you guys about pulse width modulation pins, like what are the pins available on Arduino Uno board, and also a pulse width modulation technique, like in what cases we are going to use with this pulse width modulation technique, and what is meant by pulse width modulation technique. Those things we are going to discuss. At last, we are going to do an hands-on session on fading of an LED using this pulse width modulation technique. Let's see in the PPT. I hope you guys are seeing this Arduino Uno board along with my cursor. There are two types of pins in this Arduino Uno board. Firstly, these are the analog input pins and these are digital input or output pins. In those digital input or output pins, there are some pins which having some specialty. Specialty means pulse width modulation pins. Those pins are pin number 3, pin number 5, pin number 6, pin number 9, 10, 11. In the Arduino board, those pins are marked with an negation symbol. I think you can see this number negation symbol at pin number 3 and those pulse width modulation pins. Next slide. Pulse width modulation. First point is PWM output is possible on digital input or output pins 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 11. We know this first point from this last slide, and let's get into the definition of this pulse width modulation. Firstly, let's see by its name. Pulse width modulation. Pulse width means width of the pulse. Modulation means change. What the main technique behind this pulse width modulation is, we are just changing the width of the pulse in a very short time interval that we are going to see in this graph. I hope you guys can see this picture of graphs having some 5 examples. In this graph, these green lines are time intervals, and we all know as these pulse width modulation pins are digital input or output pins, so we can only give either 5 or 0, which means we can't give any value in between 0 to 5. It can be on or it can be off only. Let's see an example of this 25% duty cycle. 25% duty cycle means 25% of this time interval it is on and remaining 75% of the time interval it is off. If you see this 75% duty cycle, the 75% of duty cycle it is on and remaining 25% of duty cycle it is off. So in this 25% duty cycle example, the average power output is 25% of the average of maximum power. I think you guys are getting. If you see this 75% duty cycle, the average power output from this interval is 75% of the maximum average power output. This is just like we are switching on and off in a very short interval. The interval means it can be micro, milli or nano. It depends on the microcontroller. And if you guys are struggling in what cases we have to use this pulse width modulation, let just remember a simple line. When we want to adjust the power output, we use this pulse width modulation technique. That's it. And the third point is technique used in controlling brightness of LED. Yeah, we control the brightness of LED, which means the output power. When we give the maximum power, the brightness will the LED will glow with this with the highest brightness. And when we give the power output as 0, then LED is off. Like that, similarly, we control this speed of the DC motor also. When we want to control a microcontroller, we have to code it, right? In this Arduino coding, for controlling these pulse width modulation pins, we use a function called analog write function, and it has nothing to do with the analog input pins. And this function takes 2 arguments. The first argument is pins, pin number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 11. Like in the circuit which pin we are connected, that pin we have to write it here, and the value The range of this value is from 0 to 255. It is because in our Arduino Uno board, pulse width modulation pins having an 8-bit resolution. Firstly, I have to explain what is meant by bit. The bit is the smallest unit of data in a computer, which means it can be accommodated. It means it can hold either 0 or 1. So for each bit, we are having two possibilities. There are 8-bit resolution for this pulse width modulation pins, which means total number of possibilities are 2 to power 8 equal to 256, as we are counting from 0 to 0, right? So the range is from 0 to 255. This is the code we are going to do an hands-on session to fade an LED in the Tinkercad. Before doing an hands-on session, I would like to show you the final output, like what are we going to achieve. Let's watch this final output. This is the Tinkercad simulator, an online simulator, and this is how I build a circuit. This is LED. When I start the simulation, I think you guys can see this LED is fading, which means it's slowly increasing its brightness and decreasing its brightness from highest to lowest at a same rate. Now let's do a hands-on session on fading of an LED in Tinkercad. I hope everyone opened this Tinkercad simulator, and this is how it looks when you open after logging in into the Tinkercad. Then I think you guys can see the components here, right? If you scroll down here, you can see the Arduino Uno board. And firstly, what we are going to do is fading of an LED. For that, first we have to build the circuit, and then we have to code the Arduino board. If you click here Arduino, and if you click here, it will directly come to here. And okay, that's it. Now I'm using a breadboard, small breadboard, because in online, as this is an online simulator, we can do without the breadboard also. But in practical situations, we can we use this breadboard to connect those LEDs and wires, everything during our practical sessions. For that, I'm using this breadboard so that you get to know what is meant by breadboard and how connections are in the breadboard. Coming to the breadboard, if you see the first row, those first two row and the first two rows and last two rows are shorted, which means if you see the first row, the potential at any point in the first row, it is equal, which means those points are shorted, which are in green lines, right now. As above, in the second row also, the second line is whole shorted. It's just like a simple wire. Every point is shorted. Like if you say the potential, let's say the potential at this point is VA, and if you see the potential at this point is also VA, like that. But here, if you see, these 5 dots are green circles when you click here, which means these 5 are shorted. But unlike as above, it is not, rows are not shorted, column wise it's shorted up to 5 pins only. If you see here, potential at this point equal to potential at this point here also. And also one more point is, this column doesn't have any connections with this column. These two are separate, and this is same as above. Now build the circuit, and if you see here, you can place an LED. Just place it LED here, and you can change, if you want, you can change the color of this LED also. Let me change it and place this resistor like this. Don't forget to change the resistance value to 220, and also change the units to ohms. That's it. Now we are going to connect this breadboard with the Arduino Uno board. I'm taking the connection from here. As if you see here, when I take the connection from this point, which means this point is directly connected to the resistor. I'm connecting it to pin number 5. You can connect any pulse width modulation pins, that's your wish. And to complete the circuit, I'm connecting this to ground pin. If you want, you can change the color also. Let me change it into black or something, anything. Okay, building of circuit is completed. Now let's code this Arduino Uno board. change it into texts. Okay. Let me clear this coding. Now, before writing the code, let me explain you the basic syntax of this Arduino board. Basic syntax is void setup and void loop, which means in the void setup, what we do is we configure the pins, whether the pin is input or output. Like that, we have to configure the pins. And void loop means we have to write the commands like blinking of LED and everything. We write that, we write in that void loop, which iterates until we stop the simulation. But void setup runs for one time only. Now let me create some variables so that we can control the brightness of LED. Brightness equal to initial value equal to 0. Need amount equal to, I'm taking the value of 5. Now I have to set up the pins, which means I have to configure the pins. For that I am using this syntax. In the circuit, I connected this pin resistor, which means which is indirectly connected to this LED to pin number 5, pulse width modulation pin number 5, which means that pin we have to configure into output using pin mode function. You have to write it. It also takes two arguments. One is pin number, and also second one is input or output. We have to write that pin number 5, and we are using it as an output, right? For that, I have to write it output. That's it. Configuration of pins is completed. Now we have to write the commands in the while loop section. As we are using this pulse width modulation pin, we have to, as I said before, we have to use analog write function, right? Analog write function, and it takes two arguments. First one is pin number 5, and the second one is the value. The range of this value is in between 0 to 255. For that value, I am taking the variable brightness. I am keeping brightness value. Now, for every iteration, the brightness of this, the value of brightness should, I am increasing by 5 for every iteration of this loop by fade amount. The fade amount initial value is 5, right? Brightness, yes, fade amount. Then, we have to create a conditional statement. I will explain it after writing this conditional statement. Brightness equal to 0. Brightness equal to 255. Here what I am writing is fade amount equal to minus fade amount. Let me explain you why we are using this if conditional statement. Because we know that we are giving the output through brightness values, right? For every iteration, brightness increases by fade amount, which is the initial value is equal to 5. As brightness value starts from 0, when it reaches the 255, which means the LED glows with highest brightness, it has to decrease, right? For that, we are just changing the sign of fade amount, which means from when it reaches 255, it decreases 255 minus 5, which is equal to 250, 245, 240, like that. Also, when it reaches 0, again fade amount value will interchange its sign, then fade amount equal to become 5. Like that, we are using this if conditional statement. If you That's it. That's the code for the fading of an LED, but we have to add a delay of 30 milliseconds. The unit of this in this delay is milliseconds. Don't forget that. We have to add this delay because we have to observe the fading of an LED in the fading of LED, right? If you don't use this delay, then we can't observe with our naked eye from this fading of an LED from this experiment. Now everything is completed. Let's start our simulation. I think you guys can see this fading of an LED, right? Slowly it's increasing brightness from zero to highest, and decreasing brightness from highest to the lowest. And also one more thing, if you don't, why we are, I think you got a question why we are using this fade amount value equal to 5. I'm just using this fade amount equal to 5 because it is a multiple of 255. If you don't want to use this fade amount equal to 5, then you can use any other value. Let's take a 7 value. Then you have to change this if conditional statement less than greater than. That's it. Now you can start the simulation. Now you can place whatever, you can give whatever fade amount value you can give it. You guys can see this fading of an LED, right? And that's it. Anything to explain? Yeah. And also you can create another variable called int LED, fade LED. If you don't want to use the pin number, then you can use this variable also. Fade LED equal to 5. I'm creating a variable. And you can write it here like that also. No problem. You can observe this fading of an LED, right? That's it. And the hands-on session on fading of an LED is completed. And thank you for watching.